is I, the Space Age Penguin, here yet again. And, it actually did occur to me. Something did occur to me. So, recently we've been getting a lot of news regarding the MCU, and as well as that, where it currently is, which is a bit of a mess. But it did occur to me, given that the MCU is in a bit of a mess, I decided. So, I had the idea. The idea is, what if I was in charge of the MCU? Particularly now, obviously, there's two different phases of the MCU. First off, there's the Infinity Saga, as shown above me right here. Obviously, that goes all the way up to, it goes up all the way up to Spider-Man Far From Home, which isn't shown, but still, it does need to be addressed. So, to make things really quite simple, if I was in charge of the MCU, I would just leave all of this alone. It's just perfect. There's nothing wrong with the first three phases. Infinity Saga, love it. That said, the Multiverse Saga, on the other hand, has been a wreck. So, first off, here's what I'm going to do. So, my idea simply is what if we took everything that came out, that has come out, and that will come out next year. What if we took all of that and rearranged it? Rearranged the order so that maybe things can make more sense. Now, that said, I've got some rules. So, the first rule is very simple. The first rule is... the first rule is I'm only covering stuff that has already been released and that already has a vision. I'm not re-envisioning the film, or TV show for that matter, because TV shows were introduced. I am not making up things like, for example, I am not going to say, Phase 4 needs to have Avengers Secret Wars. Sorry, not Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. Avengers Secret Invasion, which that doesn't exist. It exists as a TV show? No. Okay, so Gorilla Joe's already saying make stuff up. No. Because because it's going to take a lot longer as I try to explain the plot. And I want to keep this short and simple. Now, that said, Gorilla Joe's already saying give me monies. Wow. You are really, just wow. Okay, so moving on from that, I guess speaking of monies, the Marvels has not been doing well, which is unfortunate. I actually haven't seen the film yet. I want to, though. It sounds like my kind of thing. But, that said, so here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to present to you the poster to an upcoming film, or something that's already been released. Kind of like how I showed you all the picture of all of the previous stuff. So I'm going to show you that first, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Now, obviously, we're not going to go into full detail. I don't want, spoilery chat or anything like that. Just a very simple, should this be rearranged? So, first off, before we fully get into this, I do want to explain this. So recently, given that the Echo series has been confirmed as R-rated, you can see my reaction to the Echo trailer in a previous live stream. My trailer live stream, it's on YouTube. But basically, Echo, so what Marvel has done is they have said that Echo is going to be a Spotlight project. Now, what does Spotlight mean? Spotlight for Marvel means this is a standalone. Now, that doesn't mean it's an alternate universe or anything like that. I mean, I guess it could, theoretically, but what it means is it is not crucial to the overarching story, and you do not need to see it. This is, so they made this decision to help out people who are lost with MCU watching, where they're like, does this take place here? Where's this at? How does this connect to this? And what Marvel is doing is they're simplifying. They're simplifying what is important and what is not. Okay, Gorilla Joe just said it's like Vertigo for DC. You're correct to a point. Vertigo is indeed standalone. However, it is usually restricted to just R-rated stuff. Spotlight doesn't have to be. The idea is Spotlight, so really, if we're putting it with DC terms, Spotlight is really a lot more like Elseworlds, where you don't have to see it to understand what's going on in the crucial time, in the crucial story. So, that said, now that we've got that under our belt, or under my suspenders, so what I'm going to do is I am going to present a poster, and I am going to say, I'm going to give you, the audience, a chance to say, should this be Phase 4 or Phase 5, or should this be Spotlight? And then I will make a list of what is a Spotlight project, what should be rebranded as a Spotlight project, and then what should be kept under Phase 4. Now, I want to keep this really quick because after that, I'm going to rearrange things and list things off in a way that can make sense. So, said, I'm going to give just a simple moment here to ensure I have got all the images up. Okay, everything is looking good so far. Just hang on here. Let me make sure things are going right here. Let's see. Okay. I'm only seeing Gorilla Joe in the chat, so I guess it must be a pretty late night. Let's see. Hang on here. Okay. So, all I'm just doing here is... Oh, good. Okay. All right. So, looks like we got another person up. Okay. So, yep. All right. Get to the list. Let's do it. Okay. So, I'm going to present things in the order they were released. So, let's get started. So, first off, we've got the MCU's Phase 4, which began, well, it was supposed to begin in 2020, but due to the pandemic, it wound up getting moved a year later to 2021, which just caused, that was just the start of the giant mess. So first off, let's start with WandaVision. So, this was the first thing to come out. Personally, I would say... So this is a TV show, by the way, and it is a mini-series that only ran for 9 episodes. But I would say it actually is pretty important to the MCU, to Phase 4 in particular, because there are little intricate multiverse setups. And you've got some big crucial character moments, particularly with Wanda or Scarlet Witch, which winds up getting brought up again in a later film. So it is important And for that, I am going to count it under phase 4. Now, hang on here. Let me just go ahead and. Okay. Yes, welcome back, Urkel429. And who are you? 1. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type down phase 4. And then, let's move this always that way. Hold on here, so that way. I'm just making sure the chat can be seen in. But yes, so I'm just going to be simply typing this stuff up. So phase 4. So we got WandaVision. I have to move the text box here so that way. And then may shrink the wording a bit here. Let's see. Can everyone see the words that I'm typing up? I just want to make sure that this doesn't look too messy. All right. Okay, so we got WandaVision here. I guess I might as well go ahead and space and then put phase 5. This will be important for when we get to phase 5. And then I'll do another category, which is Spotlight. And remember chat, please vote if you think this should be important to the story. Remember, I am leaving themes alone. I'm not changing the story up. Okay, so this should stay as part of phase 4. All right, awesome. So in which case then, moving on. So next up, so after WandaVision is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was the next series to come out. I actually personally really like it a lot. Who are you saying yes, but painful watch as the series went on? Question, are you talking about WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Because I have heard complaints about both. I will certainly agree with WandaVision there. Yes, okay, good. So who are you saying Wanda? Yep, yeah, I will agree. It was very interesting at first. It had a very interesting setup, but then the finale kind of dropped the ball there. That said, I do feel Falcon and the Winter Soldier gets a bit of hate from a lot of people. I still don't know why. I guess maybe they just don't like more political messaging. The one thing I can agree with is that they really fell for the twist villain again, which doesn't work. But that aside, I do think this is a pretty solid show, and I really enjoy it. Now, however, this isn't about enjoyment as it is about importance. So, does Falcon and the Winter Soldier have any important things to the story? I think so, because it sets up. So, okay, so first, there are two themes that the multiverse saga is setting up. One is the multiverse itself, which WandaVision kind of begins, but more than ever, it's the multiverse will officially begin in another series. The other one, which this series introduces, the other concept which this series introduces, is the Thunderbolts, which is basically Marvel Suicide Squad. It's basically team of anti-heroes and ex-villains that wind up having to do some good, which I'm very excited about. I'm very curious to see how Marvel does it. Obviously, huge Suicide Squad fan, particularly James Gunn film, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Marvel. Now, that said, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier, should it still be part of Phase 4, or should it be moved to Spotlight? Do you think it is important enough to the overarching story, or should it be left as its standalone theme? Spotlight, interesting. Okay, what do you think, Caracal 429, and who are you 1? Here, I'm gonna give you guys a moment, and while I'm at it, I'm just going to make sure, because we got a long list of... Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. So Gorilla Joe's saying Spotlight. Now, mind you, one last thing. Spotlight doesn't have to be bad stuff. It can be good stuff too. It's just, remember, with Spotlight, is it crucial to the story, or is it too standalone to make any sense in the overarching story? It can still be good. Okay, Future Falcon determined. Oh, who are you does have a good point. Okay, that reminds me. We are getting a follow-up to this in the form of Captain America Brave New World. So, that being said, I personally think it should stay as part of Phase 4. But, once again, leaving it up to you guys. What do you think? Alright, so... let's see, I'm seeing a lot of... Character 429 saying, where's Chris Evans? Oh, okay, we got our first vote. So who are you is saying that Falcon and the Winter Soldier should stay as part of Phase 4. Okay. Too expensive. Yeah, okay. So... oh, yeah, for Chris... not Chris Hemsworth. Chris Evans. Although, that said, there is a rumor that Marvel's looking at bringing back the original Avengers. Well, okay, it's not a rumor. It's really a rumor that was started by them because it was something that Marvel had discussed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type up Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh, it's just the Falcon. I don't have enough time to... and Falcon. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay. Next up. So there's that. Next up, we have got... oh, whoop. Okay. So next up, we have got Loki Season 1. I'm just going to go and say, especially given Season 2, and... I mean, I don't think, unless any of you guys think differently, but I'm just gonna go and say this is crucial. This is crucial to, wait, Spotlight? Are you serious, or? Because here's the thing, Loki introduces the whole multiverse. Wow, you are really, what the heck? I was figuring you'd all vote for this one being on Phase 4. Okay, Gorilla Joe, I can tell you're trolling me here. I can tell you're really trolling me. You know, any more behavior like this, and I'm gonna count you off. Okay? I'm giving you this chance here. I'm giving you this chance. Okay, but... what do you think, Caracal 429, or anyone else in the chat? Do you think do you think Loki should stay in Phase 4? Or should it be moved to a Spotlight? Okay. So Caracal 429 saying Into the Spider-Verse has superior multiverse. I will agree with that. I will agree. I do think the multiverse structure is a lot better. So this is a tough one. I was not expecting this, to be honest, because once again, Loki Season 1 that introduces the whole multiversal concept into the MCU. It is the thing that just absolutely it really does begin the whole multiverse thing. It sort of changes everything, and once again, it is really good. It's really good too. I don't know. This is so. Really? Are you really sure about this as part? Are you really sure about this as a spotlight? Because once again, this is called the Multiverse Saga. I'm not. Strange. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. There is a whole. Let's look at the chat here. There is a whole thing of. Huh. So, okay. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Ignore that one. Let's see. Oh, okay. Who are you saying, Doctor Strange? Yeah. Gorilla Joe, once again, I'm telling you, if you troll me any more. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so back to it. So, last chance here, Spotlight or part of Phase 4, because I personally feel this needs to stay with Phase 4. Okay, well, come on, I'm gonna give you this one last chance here. All right. Well, in that case then, I guess if you guys change your mind. Okay, so Caracol429 saying Doctor Strange does not introduce the multiverse. Actually, no. Hold up. I'm going to correct you on that one because the multiverse does get a mention in the first Doctor Strange back in 2016. So they were already saying up that the multiverse as a possibility for what was going to be next. Okay, so Caracol429 saying it talks about it but doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Okay, so I guess I'll just go ahead and put Loki Season 1, mind you. Loki Season 1 under Spotlight, which, again, it's a little weird. Okay, so next up, we have got... Oh, whoa, hold up. Okay, who are you saying? Okay, give in. And James sets up Loki, who then gives free will to people. Okay. Yes, all right then. So, looks like we had a change of heart, and we are moving Loki. So, Loki, Season 1, you get to be moved right back to Phase 4. Although it was nice practice to show what this would. Whoops. I guess we all have typo mistakes here. Season 1. Here you go. All right. My spidey senses tell me you want it in Phase 4 anyhow. Well, once again, it's very crucial, and I really love it too. So, okay. So Phase 4 has the show so far. So far, nothing has changed. But that may, well, change. Okay. So now we've got our first film of Phase 4, which is Black Widow. Personally, I don't get why Kevin Feige is saying this is really important. There's only one end credit scene that sets up the whole Thunderbolts thing, and even then, I feel Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a better job at that. Actually, Gorilla Joe, I will agree with you. I will agree with you. I actually feel Black Widow should be a spotlight project because it's just too standalone, and and even more, it's just so awkward because of when it came out. I will agree, Carol 429. I don't. It's not that Black Widow's bad. It's just it's not good either. It's pretty forgettable, to be honest. Okay, so I think we're gonna move on and I'll just type that under Spotlight. All right, moving on. So next up, we have got What If Season 1. So this is an interesting one. I personally feel this should be so. It's interesting that we are talking about Loki as a potential spotlight project, even though it's about the multiverse stuff. I feel that with What If Season 1, because even though it is about the multiverse, it's too standalone, and its placement in the whole MCU is just, yeah, okay. Wow, okay, let's look. We got some vocal opinions in the chat. Well, I will certainly agree somewhat, to a point. I feel What If started really well. It had a lot of good potential, and then at the end, I feel it just turned into another crossover that's trying to justify its existence when there already was a reason to justify its existence. It's something different. It's something new, and it doesn't feel that by the end. So, that said, I personally feel What If should be a spotlight project. What do you guys think? Plots it could have done. I will agree. Who are you? One. Think of all scrap before we had episode 5, and then it died even worse. Well, okay, I'll have to counteract on that one. The first 4 episodes are really good. I love them. And I even enjoyed episode 5 as well, although I can see where people are coming from. All right, Spotlight. Okay, so looks like we've got a unanimous Spotlight vote. What if? Oh, and I gotta make sure, because there is gotta be a second season to this. Although, I guess, let's see. Should we go ahead and count season 2 as a spotlight as well? I mean, I guess it's sort of depending on how important it is, but... Well, I'll just go and type season 1 anyways. Whoop. Okay. Next up. So next up is, hold on. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So this is a tough one. This is a really, really tough one. But I actually feel that this should be Spotlight. Not because I don't think it's good. I love it. I love the heck out of this thing. The problem with Shang-Chi is, so far we have gotten nothing to prove its connection to the overarching story. So, interesting. Looks like I'm not alone there. So, I guess let's go ahead and type it in here. I'm just gonna do, one thing about the multiverse saga is that there are insanely long names to their films and TV shows. But yeah, okay, who are you saying they need to find a way to join him to the main story? I will agree. I love this film. This was so good. Okay. So, that said, next up, we have got Spotlight. I'm sorry, I'm not even finishing that up. Spotlight. I'm sorry. I wanted to light this one. I wanted to light this one so bad because the concept. I love the concept so much. I love the Neil Gaiman comics, but this was awful. I could not bat this up. So yes. Yeah, I don't even think there's a vote here. I think everyone's on board with me saying Spotlight. Is there who are you saying? Is there a toilet section to vote for? Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, let's get that bad stain out of the way and move on to something better, particularly this Hawkeye, which I actually do feel needs to be left in Phase 4. Why? Well, for starters, it's a really good series. 2, it does help establish. It does help establish not only the Thunderbolt stuff, but it helps establish the world of the street world in the MCU. Okay, wait. Carol 429 saying Hawkeye Spotlight. Interesting. Okay. What is everyone else thinking? Gorilla Joe, who are you? One, and anyone else in the chat? Oh, who are you saying? Super credit to Carol 429, yeah. So, Black Widow should be Phase 4 if you're counting Hawkeye. No, actually, there's a difference. So, Hawkeye is actually following up the events to Endgame. Whereas Black Widow is set before Infinity War. So that's where I'm coming from with having Black Widow as Spotlight, because if it really was crucial to the MCU, it should have been a Phase 3 film. Oh, interesting. Terkel 429 says Black Widow sets up Hawkeye. Okay, he's got a certain point here. Terkel 429 does have a certain point, but it's just an end credit scene, which once again, that's more sets up the Thunderbolts. That sets up a connection to Thunderbolts. Then again, so does this. But I feel this one is more interconnected by its story than just having a single end credit scene. So, interesting. Sadly, there's not enough connectivity. Why? That is an odd one. Well, I say I'm going to keep it under Phase 4 because, so for one, I really like it, so I guess there's a little bias there. But the other thing is, I do feel it is important to the overarching story. And now remember, once again, Echo's going to be a Spotlight project, and that's a spinoff to this. So that's not true. Okay, so Terrical 429 saying Spotlight should have absolutely no connection. That's actually not true. Once again, Spotlights are standalone experiments. They can be good or they can be bad. One, you can see one without having to see the other. So just because it's Spotlight, let me clear this up. Just because it's Spotlight does not mean that it's terrible. It just means there's no connection, strong connection to the overarching story. And I do feel Hawkeye does have a strong connection to the overarching story, because it's saying up. Let's see. All right. So I am going to go ahead and type down Hawkeye under Phase 4 for now. I might change my mind later, but for now, I am going to put it under Phase 4. On here. Oh well, anyways. Oh, whoop. There we go. All right. So next up. Okay, similar to Eternals, but the opposite. This needs to stay in Phase 4. This needs to stay in Phase 4. I absolutely love the heck out of this thing. This is the best film of the entire phase. I think it may be the best thing of the entire phase. Yep, definitely. It seems there's a So, Character 429, what do you think? What do you think about this one being in Phase 4? Same case, anyone else who wants to chime into the chats, just let me know. Because so far we've got some votes for... Yep, okay. There seems to be a pretty unanimous... Yep. Oh. Okay, are you trolling me again, Gorilla Joe? You're trolling me again. You're trolling me again. Yeah. But then should the previous Spidey films be phases 1 and 2? Okay, that's a weird one. I would say that's where Spotlight can really come in because... So, once again, that's a little weird because sometimes you do get little spin-offs or you get some connections like Spider-Man No Way Home. The biggest thing is, the way I see it is, the first 5 Spider-Man films, the first 5 live-action Spider-Man films really just need to continue on their standalone position. But then again, so I think the biggest thing is they're both part of different universes. And trust me, things are going to get confusing real soon once we get to Phase 5. But for now, let's just make this quick. I'm just going to go ahead and type in Spider-Man No Way Home. All right. So, Nevin, you're not going to believe this. All that I have just listed, all of those came out in a single year. That is so hard to believe. I think I can see why everything's a mess now, but don't worry. After this, we're going to... Yeah, I've already got a bit of a timeline starting to form in my brain, so that means that hopefully, so this should be exciting. Okay. Okay, just wanted to test that again. Besides, wanted to see a poster again at school. Oh, they were on fire back then. Yeah, I will agree. Well, I don't know. Are you talking about the Infinity Saga or 2021? Who are you one? Because if you're talking about 2021, don't forget Eternals happened. So, yeah. Anyways, all right. But moving on to 2022 now. So let's start with this. I love this show, but similar to Shang-Chi, I have not seen any other MCU show or movie to firmly give a reason why Moon Knight should be part of a crucial story. As much as I love this, I do think this needs to be a spotlight. What do you guys think? Just gotta give you a moment here. Just make sure that... Okay. Yeah. Spotlight. Okay. Looks like we've got... Okay, so we do have a pretty unanimous vote. Spotlight. Who are you one? What do you think? Same with anyone else in the chat. Okay, so there is a unanimous agreement, which I will agree. I mean, I love the show. I think it's really good. Yeah. Okay, let's move that over to Spotlight. Oh, whoop, wrong night there. There we go. All right, next up, after this, hold on here, I'm a little lost. Whoop, here we go. So after this, we have got, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Personally, I still think it should. Personally, I have a blast with this one. I really love it. And that said, I do feel it is very important to the story. It does continue where WandaVision left off, sort of. And more than ever, it does firmly establish the multiverse, even if it's just a little more. I know we don't see much of it, but whoa, so many spotlights. Gosh darn it. What the heck, man? Come on, seriously? Well, okay, hold on here. For starters, let me bat this up here. Phase 4 does need a big finale, and this is the closest to a big finale that I can think of. Because it is, at least by title alone, it is about the whole multiverse. Why are you continuously saying Spotlight? Ugh. Personally, I don't know. Personally, I wanted to still stay in Phase 4, but I guess I gotta go with a vote here, so I'm just gonna put this under Spotlight. I guess then again, there's another film that is supposed to be important that we'll get to soon. I'm just gonna put Doctor Strange too. I love Multiverse of Madness. So, oh, hello. What's this? Okay, who are you? One is saying Phase 4. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so everything's balanced now. Okay, so there. Aha. All right. So now we've got. Okay, looks like we've got a change of mind here. Okay, so even if there's a disagreement with how good it is or not, personally, I love it, but I guess maybe it's just a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm not sure. But the votes are saying this should still stay in Phase 4. Yes. Doctor Strange. Okay, I am gonna go and type it because I just love this. Oh, whoop. Okay. All right. So next up, so after that. Gorilla Joe continuing to troll me again. So next up, Ms. Marvel. I have a bit of a blast with this one. Sort of. Okay. I thought there are some elements that really work and elements that don't. That said, this is an interesting one because this kind of sets up, of what I'm hearing, this is supposed to set up the Marvels. That said, though, it is standalone enough to really be its own thing, to be sort of a spotlight. So what do you guys think? This one I really am just throwing out there. What do you guys think? Spotlight or part of Phase 4? No vote for Who Are You 1? Okay, dropped out of this one. Okay, well, I will let you know, Who Are You 1, that the stuff with the family is absolutely great. I love the bond that the family has. There's some stuff that really works well with some elements that we're seeing in Spider-Man No Way Home. But that said, the villains are so silly they feel like they came straight out of an M. Night Shyamalan film. I kid you not. I was laughing hard at a scene that was supposed to be serious. Okay, so interesting. So I am going to put this one under Spotlight. Okay, I will. I say I'm kind of neutral on that one because I do feel that although it's probably got to be important, mind you, I haven't seen the Marvels yet, so. But I have heard that this is supposed to be crucial. That said, though, I don't know if the Marvels is even important to the overarching story or not. So, I'm going to put this one under Spotlight. And, yeah. Okay, looks like I may have to shrink the list down a bit here to at least the words. Let's see. Whoa, those are tiny words. Let's see. Let's maybe... Okay, there we go. And let's move this up a bit. Okay. To tween for Who Are You 1. I do see. Okay. I guess there's the first episode in particular, but the later episodes actually get a lot more serious than that. Okay, the stuff with the family gets a lot more serious than that. Once again, the villains are so wacky. Anyways, okay. So, what's next? Okay, let's make sure. Okay. What next? For Love and Thunder. This is another wild card. Will this be Spotlight or will this stay with Phase 4? Okay, Gorilla Josen one. Yes, sucks. I really want to say otherwise, but I'm sorry. I really, really wish they had reined Taika Waititi in on some of those parts, because this was just a tragedy. That said, is it important enough to stay in Phase 4? Or should it be moved to Spotlight? Okay, chat, I need you to say Spotlight or Phase 4. Okay, don't dare just get away from me. Okay, so I'd say I'm not too fond of this one. It seems no one else is. I don't recall the story being really crucial. I mean, heck, even the Guardians of the Galaxy, as awesome as their part is, you really don't need to see this one. So, yeah, I'll put this one under Spotlight, I think. Which is sad, because there was a point where it really... where a 4 film as part of a phase really could have been crucial, but I guess that's just not the case for this one. They really dropped the ball in this. All right. War was important in the old MCU, but not for in this plot. Okay, that's some wise. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Okay, so there's that tragedy. So, what next? Spotlight, 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 Spotlight! Oh my gosh, what was that? Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Spotlight, 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 Spotlight! Okay. Okay. I think... And I'm just gonna go ahead and type this up and move on. Moving on. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, that took me by surprise. We did not need that in the MCU. We really, really did not need that. Okay. Oh, well, that's a little too far ahead. Okay. We got this next, actually. So, Werewolf by Night. Personally, I feel this one needs to be Spotlight. Why? Once again, not because it's bad, but because it doesn't have any crucial part in a story. It seems to be more of an experiment. Alright, so. Who else saying, yep, good, but Spotlight? I will agree with you there, Gorilla Joe. I think, wow, so Phase 4 seems to be consisting more of Spotlight stuff, which, yeah. Oh, I think that's talking about, I think Who Are You's talking about She-Hulk. Yeah, okay, Spotlight. Alright, I'm gonna go and type that in. Once again, very fun, very, very much on the campy side of horror. Love it. It's just great, but sadly, similar to the best, like Moon Knight and Shang-Chi, there is no part of the overarching story. So, now we can move on to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is another wild one. So, I like this. Personally, I like this. But I do feel it's a lot more standalone than crucial to a story. Now, I can argue too, maybe it does need to be counted under Phase 4 because, well, for starters, there's barely any films in Phase 4. I mean, seriously, the only films left in Phase 4 now are just Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and that's it. Everything else is TV shows. But the other thing, and most importantly of all, I do see this as a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and maybe even though it's not over connecting to a story, the fact that this is remembering a fallen actor of the MCU, maybe that's justifiable enough to at least keep it in Phase 4. What do you guys think? Okay, they have yet to connect Black Panther 2 to the overarching story. That I will agree, but once again, it's... I think they took it in the best direction they could. Those are some good words there. I will certainly agree. They did the best that they could. It was really hard. It must have been so sad to have been making this film without Chadwick. I think just because I do want some balance with the films, and for Chadwick Boseman, and with some understanding as well, I actually think this deserves to stay on for Phase 4. Even though the story is very standalone, this is a very different case. So I'm going to go ahead and type this down. And yeah. Yeah, it's not. So Careful 429 saying it's mid. It's not exactly as good as the first one. But once again, yeah, see, and besides, it does feel... Yeah, okay. So I think we're going to move on here from that. Well, we are almost done. So that is almost finished with Phase 4, so we are almost finished with that. But we've got one last thing left, which is this. Now it's time for some cheer again. This, I feel, needs to stay in Phase 4 because it does set up a crucial part for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And beyond that, it is just fun. It is so fun. I just love this so much. Oh, hello. What's this? What's this that the chat is saying here? Let's just see. Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Okay, let's see. Right. All right, let's see. So I'm just all right, so I would say this needs to stay on phase 4. Out of the two specials, this definitely feels the most interconnected. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that down under phase 4. So we have got all of phase 4 done. I'm just going to put down Guardians of the, let's see, Christmas. All right, so that is all of phase 4. My gosh. Okay, I think we're able to find a good balance there. It seems things are pretty split. We've got the right amount of stuff under the standalone spotlights, and we've got enough under phase 4. I feel it's a pretty strong. We have got a much stronger, simpler phase with phase 4 now. We seem to have cleared out a lot of the mess, so I am going to hide the text layer, and I've been thinking about how to reorganize what we have a phase for now, and just give me a moment as I type up what we got. So, okay, here. So let's see. And then we will move on to phase 5. But first, let's go ahead. All right, so let's see. So let's go ahead. Just gonna make this really quick here. All right, so what I was thinking timeline-wise is, so I am going to stick with years. And as for 2020, I am going to keep in mind that the pandemic was happening. So what I'm thinking of is, so if I was in charge of Marvel and I was looking at all that whole list that we just saw, that we just witnessed, I would probably have, so for 2020, I would have done what Disney did with Pixar in terms of the films. I would have released the films during the pandemic. I would have released the films straight to Disney Plus. So that way, because it was awful. It was just so awful. We didn't have, I mean, things were looking pretty hopeless at that time. It's so hard to believe how we made it out through there. But that said, so I would go off of the fact of that I would be releasing the films to Disney Plus. And that said, I feel 2020 would be perfect as a year of all of the spotlights. So all of the spotlights, I feel, should be 2020. So let me. And then I'm going to rearrange things. So the one thing I will say is, so Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings was originally set to be released back in February of 2021. Obviously, this is just remember, this is a fun thing. This isn't if I could go back in time, of course I do it, but I can't go back in time. Obviously, it's a little too late for it. I'm just showing. Here's. Okay. So, who are you saying Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special poster is all you can see? Okay, let me go and so actually I do have there is an important reason why I have that left up. So that way, because I have got an insane list of all of the images and they are all saying just images, so I can't tell. I kind of get lost sometimes, so having one that stands out, which this is, helps me to know what image to bring next. As for the text, I'm keeping it hidden because I'm trying to go ahead and list it off, change the list here. So, let's see here. Let's see, so, let's say, okay, so, you know what, I'm just gonna make this easier. I'm just gonna go off of just years and whether it's a spotlight year or not. Okay, so 2020 and 2021. I know 2020 would be considered a messy year given the new list I've got, but if they're all spotlight stuff, you can see them if you want to. You don't have to see them immediately. They can just be like, oh, okay, yeah. You can skip one and watch the other. Yeah, they're not important. So, but whereas starting with 2021, that's where I'd want to start phase 4. And with 2021, the idea is I would want to start transitioning back to theaters for the films, especially later in the year. That's when I started going back to theaters again. Strangely enough, with Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings being the first one. Boy, I have such fond memories of seeing that one. That was awesome. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is much easier now. There we go. Okay. Then up to 2022 would be. All right. Let's see. Change 2. Let's see. Wow. It's not that much. Okay. All right, so just to recap here. So, Phase 4, what do we have for Phase 4? The fixed version, we have got WandaVision, Falcon, Loki Season 1, Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas, the holiday special. That sounds a lot easier to keep track of. And then 2020 is a spotlight year. So, let's see what the list shows now, eh? So first off, here's what we got. So, oh yeah, see, okay, I know once again, we got a lot of stuff in 2020, but once again, let's see, let's move the list up. Let's move it up. Let's move this here. Whoa, okay. Let's just, Okay, can you see the list? I can, let's try and change the color here so that way it's easier to see. Oh, it's not really, oof. There's some special poster. Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and change that out. I'll just go ahead and show the poster to the next stuffing. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Well, but that's phase 5. We'll talk about that in a bit. So, okay. So let's see. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Good. So, is it easier to see the list now? And once again, man, okay, once again, 2020, a little bit messy, but it is, at least 2020 is a spotlight year, so you can see things on a whim, you can see whatever, it doesn't matter. But 2021 and 22, the two important years, much simpler. I love what we've got with Phase 4. I love that. So now then, I am going to move on here. So, all right. I'm just going to give you one more chance to have a look through. And then let's move over to Phase 5, which Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania does start. And I will go ahead and have to tell you, but I do think it is crucial to the Multiverse Saga. I really wish it wasn't. But I guess let's move on. Okay. So, last chance to look through the list. And going, and gone. Boom. Okay. So now we are on to Phase 5, and the good news is that Phase 5 is much easier to keep track of because there's not as much stuff. Oh, thank you, are you, saying that is a good list. It is a good list. I am very proud there. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you guys. It was a little painful at times, though. Yes, I will agree. Especially, She-Hulk. Okay. Moving on. We got Phase 5 to think about now. So, Phase 5. We begin with Quantumania, which had good potential at least. It wasn't as bad as Eternals, and it wasn't as obnoxious as 4, but it was an absolute mess. I just found myself so lost by the end of the film where I was like, what the heck happened? What happened? So, unfortunately, this is where, well, okay, wait. I've got a good excuse. I've got a good excuse. So, its biggest star, Jonathan Majors, currently is in trial right now. And Marvel's looking at the possibility of changing the villain. So, with that in mind, if they change the villain, that means that this no longer is important to the Multiverse Saga. Meaning, it really does have... Oh, I guess I might as well go ahead and list Spotlight. Meaning, this can potentially be a Spotlight film. So, what do you guys think? Spotlight or should it be Tempted Phase 5? Just personally, well, I mean, mainly it depends on what's going on with the trial, whether Jonathan Majors is convicted or not, and whether Marvel just decides to change villains. So, what do you guys think? Okay, yes, I know it's a dumpster there, Terrible 429, but I need to know what Phase 5 or Spotlight? Spotlight for Who Are You? Not important. I I'll actually agree with that. I would say I'm just gonna go and put it under Spotlight, even though, despite Kevin Feige saying, oh, whoops, I accidentally typed that twice. Despite Kevin Feige's insistence on this being important, especially if they're looking to change a villain, man, I really do not see this having much importance. Once again, it's better than some other themes from the MCU. I won't say it is the worst, but it is a mess. It is just an absolute mess. All right, so moving on. Next up. Well, this is too obvious. I'm just gonna give you guys a moment to test your votes. But I have a feeling I think I know where this is gonna go. I can't tell Gorilla Joe if you're saying that to Ant-Man free if you're calling Ant-Man free for Spotlight or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I can't tell. Phase 5. Jericho 429 saying Phase 5. Phase 5. Alright, looks like we got... Alright, let's do this. Guardians... Volume 3 for the Spotlight. Alright, yes, I will agree. I will agree, Jericho 429. Yes. Alright, so, got that. Now then, next up, Secret Invasion. I'm going to argue here, and this is a super hot take given the audience, given what people think of this. Personally, I really like this. I think this is one of our strongest shows. I just think people were expecting the comics. Interesting, Turtle 429 same Spotlight. Well, I guess to be fair, its story is pretty standalone enough. It's not really... It seems to be content in telling its own story rather than being a crucial part. Then again, it could be a crucial part. So at this point, we are not sure where the multiverse saga is going to go. So Caracal 429 is clearly one of those online haters. I don't know. I don't care. I love it. Let's see, it is connected to Nick Fury's arc. I will agree there, Who Are You One. I personally really enjoy this one, and I feel, although it may not look important right now, it may have some importance. So, and besides, let's see. Yes, I will agree, Who Are You One. This was excellent. I think people are being a little too harsh on this. I think once people have gotten their shades of their blinders of we only want the comic story and nothing else, once they get those cleared out, I think this one's got a massive cult following. Interesting. So by Who Are You's logic, that is a fair point. Okay, so I'm gonna say this one's a little more important Secret Invasion wise, because I feel Secret Invasion, for starters, it does come as a good it can sort of be included as like maybe a climax to Phase 5 or something like that. Not sure. But that said, Turtle 429 does have a good point, RU1. For Love and Thunder in that same light could still be Phase 4. Then again, though, Who Are You One saying I only act like I know everything Phase 4 quote. Wow. Okay. So this is a tricky one. But you know what? I'm gonna say, because I already know some projects that are coming up, who are you is saying, guess who? I'm going to leave that to the chat, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put this under Phase 5. Why? Because there's some stuff coming up here that are going to be considered more spotlights. We'll see. All right, moving on. We've got Loki Season 2. Definitely Phase 5. Needs to be kept in Phase 5. What do you guys think? Okay, just get a moment for a chat to catch up here. Loki Season 2 is good. Yes, yes, I love this. Easily the best finale I have seen in an MCU show. Even with Secret Invasion, which I love Secret Invasion's finale a lot, but this takes the cake. So I will definitely say this needs to stay. Season 2. All right, next up. So now we're getting into strange territory. Now we're getting into stuff I haven't seen yet, but stuff that we have yet to see whether it's going to be important or not. So I'm just going to be, I know, judging a book by its cover, but this is definitely going to be very crucial here. So, first up, the Marvels. I haven't seen this one yet. I'm curious to see where this one goes. Of why I'm hearing this changes everything for Marvel. Well, okay, for stars, it does change everything. It means most likely we're going to be seeing a return of the old Avengers again for Marvel instead of new stuff going in new directions, because this one did not do well in the box office, man. This one did not do well. So, this is where things get a little wild. So, because I haven't seen the film yet, I'm going to go off of what I'm seeing right now with the Marvels. And unless... Unless there is something really crucial here, I am actually going to put this under Spotlight. What do you guys think? Wow, okay. Okay, so Who Are You is correct. Caracal 429. We're focusing on, if I wanted to focus on the comics, I would have just made up my own, like, Avengers films or films I would want to see happen. But at this point, I am so done with all these fan casts and all of these fans just wanting what they think they want just take over. So this is just about the stuff that has already come out or is yet to come out. So, at this point, I would say I'm going to go ahead and put the Marvels under Spotlight. But that might change. We have yet to see. Yeesh, we only got one film for Phase 5. That's not looking good. Okay. There seems to be more of an argument in the chat right now, so guess I'm just gonna go and continue here. So moving on, next up, we got What If Season 2. So will this make it to be a standalone, or will this be Or will this be crucial? Personally, after having seen the trailer, once again, part of one of my previous streams, I'm just gonna go and say I think this needs to be Spotlight. Just like the first season, I think this needs Spotlight. Two. Okay. There's that. Oh, wow. Okay. What if season 2? Looks like we got some votes for Spotlight here. All right. I'm just going to put this back up just in case anyone missed. As people were too busy arguing in Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Turtle 429. I have some concerns. I will agree. But I'm also willing to keep an open mind, which something you might want to consider too. Moving on. Echo. Okay, so for starters, Marvel has already confirmed this as a Spotlight. I'm gonna go ahead and put this as a Spotlight because I want to keep, personally, I want to keep the core phases family friendly. So all the R-rated stuff I feel should be Spotlights. So that way families don't feel like they're missing out. Okay, I'm just gonna go and move on. I'm assuming you guys are gonna vote the same. I'm just gonna move on. Next up, once again, backing up my theme. If it's R, I feel it needs to be Spotlight. All right. See. Oh, interesting. So who are you? One is saying they need to connect Kingpin. Good grief, awesome villain here. I will agree. So that is something I'm very interested to seeing with Echo. I am curious to see what they do with Kingpin. I'm hoping to see more of him in Daredevil Born Again. Obviously, we'll see. So Deadpool free, I am going to put under Spotlight because once again, even if it is important, I feel the core phases need to be kept family friendly. I think Marvel is taking the wrong message here of basically saying, okay, so all of this stuff has not been working. What do we do to try something else new? I got it. Let's make R-rated stuff now. That is the wrong message. You just gotta lose more people. Even I know there's a crowd of Deadpool fans that are absolutely crazy, but you're losing your family audience, Marvel. Who are you saying Disney needs to stick with lower than rated R? What's next rated R? Disneyland theme park? Well, I mean, that would certainly be something to see, but I mean, I guess they technically own Alien now, so moving on. Wow, we just keep getting more Spotlight stuff, aren't we? Yeesh. Wow. I gotta be honest, next year is not looking too good. I am really just... Should we even bother with this? Should we even, like... I mean, seriously, why... It just seems like more Spotlight content to me. Because I don't see... yes, I will agree. Oh no, why didn't they kill her off? Because Agatha all along was a top #1 hit For a few weeks there from WandaVision, people are strangely, or at least were at the time, so obsessed with a character that Marvel decided to greenlight her own series. I personally feel they should have saved her for Doctor Strange. But I'm just gonna... Yeah. I'm just gonna put Agatha in the spotlight. Because I'm curious to see what they do with the show. It might be good. I want to keep myself open. At least this one's gotta be more considerably family friendly. But that said, I am so darn concerned about whether it's gonna even be good or not. And so far, things are not pointing to good at all. So, moving on. Captain America, Brave New World. I feel this needs to stick with Phase 5. Even though we haven't seen it yet, I have a feeling this one's gotta be important. Besides, we need more stuff in Phase 5. I mean, seriously. My gosh, that was not much. I think the biggest thing that threw me off is Ant-Man free. That really surprised me there. Okay. So, there we have it. Yes, that is Phase 5. This is all of the Phase 5 stuff. And, my gosh. So, unlike Phase 4, where things seem to be more balanced, Phase 5 definitely seems to be leaning more on the smaller side of things. I mean, I guess things are kind of balanced in that sense. You get 2 movies and 2 TV shows. I don't know. Oh no, man. This is a tough one. Once again, the problem is I haven't seen the Marvels yet, so I don't know if it's going to be... I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I don't know if it's going to be important to the story or not. And as for Ant-Man free, I guess I can move Ant-Man and the Marvels up to sort of this in-between zone, because even though they're listed under spotlights right now, they are up in the air. We don't know if Jonathan Majors is going to win the case or not. We don't know if Marvel's got completely changed the villain for the multiverse saga. We don't know if the Marvels is important to the story or not. So for now, I'm going to put Ant-Man free and the Marvels under this in-between zone. Sort of in limbo, you could say. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So this is interesting. Okay. But it's a lot more balanced, so that's a little more like it. That's a little more like it. All right, so this is an interesting one here. So before I go with the list, one more rounds of vote. So I'm a little burned out here. I mean, after going through Phase 4, I mean, who wouldn't? But should Ant-Man free be part of Phase 5 anyways? And should the Marvels be part of Phase 5 anyways? Once again, they're open. They're open to possibilities. I'm just want to give them one more shot. And then, once we have a confirmed spot here, whether they're Spotlight or Phase 5, then I will give the list. Yeah, no to Ant-Man. Without Louise, it sucked. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I think the Marvels I'm a lot more open to because I'm curious, even if it is a lot more standalone, it is still nice to have at least one break, one pause that's a lot more standalone. And, we already do have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So I'm going to move Ant-Man free over to Spotlight. And then I'm going to move the Marvels over to Phase 5. Just as a balance. I think once again, the thing is, I haven't seen the Marvels yet, so I'm willing to give it a chance. So, let's see here. Let's just get rid of those. All that in between stuff. All right, let's see what it looks like now. I guess we can move this down a bit since, it's... Okay, so how does everyone feel about the list we've got right now? So Phase 5, we have got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, and Captain America Brave New World. And then spotlights are Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, What If Season 2, Echo, Deadpool 3, and Agatha, whatever the heck they name it now. So, what does everyone think of this list? Of the current list? Do you think it's good? Okay, I will agree. All right. So now I am going to blind this here. And I am going to, thankfully this should be easier. So I'm going to, so similar to what we did in Phase 4. So the idea I've got is in between phases, we get a spotlight year as a way for everyone to take a pause. So, that in mind, let's see what we got. So, I would say this year needs to be a break year. This year should have been a pause, another pause after Phase 4. So, let's see. Yeah. Ship is sinking. I will certainly agree with you, who are you? I'm very sad to see Marvel in this state. But then again, yes. Let's see. So. Oh. Well, that was quick. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit backwards here. I'm going to be listing... Okay, so who are you? One, I will certainly agree. They need to look Into the Spider-Verse for inspiration. I also think, so this was something a Nostalgia Critic pointed out earlier this year. He was talking about the state of Disney, and he was talking about where things were going. And he pointed, so when he was talking about 2 films that Disney should look towards to inspire new projects, Nostalgia Critic pointed out 2 films. One, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which I will certainly agree. It is more story-driven, it's character-driven, and it's simple yet highly detailed, well-detailed in a simplistic story. And besides that, it just looks so darn good. The other one he pointed out, and this I unfortunately have not seen yet, but I want to see so bad, so much. The other one that the Nostalgia Critic pointed out is Triple R, or RRR. I want to see that one so bad. I've already seen clips of it, and it looks incredible. Okay, so Oh gosh, Gorilla Joe, really? Wow. Okay, so the nostalgia critic is he was one of the first YouTubers. He is a YouTube critic who basically carries his own personality. He's been around since 2007, so he's had a lot of stuff out. It's just, please don't do one of these for DC. I'll cry. Well, DC's already looking a lot more hopeful. Now, the DCEU, yeah, that was a mess, and I don't think there's anything I could have done about it anyways. I think I would have made it a lot similar to how James Gunn is looking to make the DCU now. I'm a lot more excited to see what they do. Okay, now then, so I'm going to go ahead and show the timeline list. The timeline's a little backwards because it occurred to me, it's like, oh, well, that was easy. So, here we go. Yeah, that was too easy. That was like too easy. Wow. I was expecting better from Phase 5. I was impressed with Phase 4, but man. Alright, well, whew. That was a lot to cover. My gosh. I was. Okay. But thank you all so much for sticking around with me throughout this list. I'm gonna need a break after this. I am so darn exhausted. Wow, it is just. Whoa, it was so much. You're not welcome. Is it because I am not giving you the monies? Of course, because to you it's all about the monies, isn't it? Shove a banana down his throat. I think I will, you know. I think I will. I think I will shove a banana down your throat the next time you show up, Gorilla Joe. Except that you did give me that wonderful set, which that was awesome, so okay. But if you troll me one more time, Gorilla Joe. Anyways, let's see. Well, guess there we have it. There's just one more look at where the MCU used to be, man. Now it's oof. Yeah, Gorilla Joe. Shouldn't it be your bedtime right now? Yeah. Well, let's see. Okay. I'm just let's see. You're an adult, huh, Gorilla Joe? You're an adult, huh? Okay. You know what, Gorilla Joe? I've got one thing that'll get you right out of this stream. And as it pains me to have to go through this again, here we go, man. Just one more. I can take it. I can take it. Here we go. No. No. Okay. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Maybe that got you out. Yes. Oh, I cannot believe I had to show that again. I am done. With that in mind, thank you, everyone. See you next time. Take care.